Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Hockily dockily. Oh, just a little bit of housekeeping first. I am on with Hogarth's astrology, global astrology. In 2 days' time, my Thursday morning. For those that are UK and beyond, it'll be on your Wednesday night afternoon. Yeah, that'll be fun. The four. I'm not quite sure who I'm on with. I think I'm replacing Lena, but I'm not sure. It'll be Hogarth and three of us. So that's going to be lots of fun. So I'm on that in a couple of days' time. Also, just wanted to mention Danny Shay's got a new channel called Danny Shay Shamanic Journeys. And something else. I can't remember what something else was. I didn't write it down. For those that have had enough of politicking. So pressure's on, Danny. This channel's going to go gangbusters for you because, to be honest, a lot of us have had enough of the politicking. Okay, what I want to have a look at. Oh, interestingly enough, the orange twerp coming out verbally against Netanyahu with what's going on in Gaza. Falling out perhaps. Again, his lizard brain, his very primitive foundation of his brain. I'm not going to say his higher thought process because that's where empathy and spirituality and compassion are. No, got nothing to do with it. His low vibration, look out for oneself, lizard brain is seeing the writing on the wall, knows that the net's closing in, and he's starting to say a few things to distance himself from these other bad actors, not realizing he's one of the bad actors himself. Now, he's stating that he threw out Epps from his inner circle or club or whatever it was because Epps was, trafficking. No, it wasn't. Apparently, the falling out was because Epps stole a property purchase out from the Donald's nose. They were competing for the same property and Epps got it, and that did not sit well with the orange twerp. Makes full sense. Actually, that just feels so right because a property deal, how dare you? Trafficking young girls couldn't give a rat's backside. Okay, so just be aware of that. He's also now demanding that he wants Rupert Murdoch deported, have his citizenship cancelled and deported. So again, switch from best buddies to whatever. And one of my lovely viewers sent me a clip about it. It was on Fox News where there was probably a lawyer, I don't know who was on it, was explaining in detail that the accusations against Obama don't hold water because even if they were true, which they're not, because they then pointed out that Rubio had been head of a committee that found out that yes, there was Russian interference and all the rest of it. Obama has the same immunity as the orange twerp. So not only they covered both those angles on Fox. So just putting that out there, we are looking at a shift. How confronting it must have been for those sitting on the MAGA sofas who love South Park because they just rip into everybody to get that footage. Oh man, walking in, stripping off his gear and hopping into bed with the devil. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, imagine, wouldn't you want to be a fly on the wall in a MAGA household when that came on? Okay, right, but what I want to actually have a look at in this reading is the Maven project, or Project Maven, M-A-V-E-N. Now, if you Google it, it comes up with things like, AI helping with hospitals and all the rest of it. So there's a lot of overlap. But what this actually is, if you Google Maven, yeah, we are at this end of cycle, new beginning stuff, absolutely on the world stage. Now, oh gosh, and look there, the Wheel of Fortune and the sun, the full exposure. Disappointed with how it's been worded about the EU in regards to supposedly caving to the felon, demanding that they buy oil and gas off the US instead of off Russia, etc. Just be aware the EU is very rapidly, like rapidly, moving towards renewable energy. So it is, I won't say it's a nothing deal, but it's not the deal that the orange twerp seems to think it is. And then once the conflict with Russia is over, which is coming shortly, not shortly enough, there is no need for the EU to have all the military equipment. And that was the two, we're reaching this judgment, collective awakening, new beginning era. And then disappointment in the deal as it's not coming together, and one party is walking away from this deal, looking at alternate plans potentially, or it's just not coming together. This is my in the planning card. The Three of Wands is my plan coming to fruition. So it's not the deal that it is being publicised as, is my vibe on it. But speaking of deals and military, the Maven project. Apparently it's a $142 million deal. Doesn't sound a lot in this day and age. That has been, and there are other elements as well, that apparently all information about it has been erased from the federal database systems. Now, what the Maven project is it's a AI drone contract for facial recognition and spyware for targeting identification. Oh, that was very complicated, wasn't it? It's also been, the details of it have also been removed from the website of the US Federal Trade Commission as well, which is really quite interesting. Now, what is Maven? Maven is a project that was initially undertaken by Google for this AI recognition, drone ID targeting and all the rest of it. Apparently there was such backlash within Google from the staff who said, hey, we want nothing to do with this. We're out of here. Resignations, protests, just huge backlash. So Google relented the project, and guess who took it up? Peter Thiel from Palantir. No scruples, obviously. So there's not a lot of information out there about Project Maven. So I just want to have a look. And I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot because this includes lots of money changing hands. So is this Maven project entertainment only for you sensors and you bots? Entertain, stick it on my forehead there. When I have an office, I'll get a sign set up in the background. Yes, that is progressing. Oh, painfully slow though. But let's have a look. Is this Maven, this Maven project, what do we need to know about this Maven project? I was going to ask, is it as dastardly as it feels like? But what do we need to know about this Maven project? Right. The false friend bearing gifts, the false knight bearing gifts. This is a do not trust what they say they are doing. The false knight offering up, but what they are offering up, and you notice neither he nor the horse are looking out. They are looking backwards at this waterfall here. What's going over the waterfall? Basically, okay, I'm getting the word cascading. Now, if you think about electronic terms, cascading down, information disseminating down perhaps. Yeah, I just don't trust. Don't trust what they say they are doing. The challenge for them is pushback, infighting and pushback. Now, remember, Google gave this up because of the backlash from within Google. So yeah, the information that comes out might push back on this. Again, it's one of those we need to spread it far and wide, because if you think that Palantir are creating it for the military under this current regime for good purposes, might be a bit mistaken there. So this is the throwing under the bus, this is the backlash, this is the hillbilly brawl, this is potentially the infighting that's happening in the Pentagon at the moment. So let's see. Trying to balance. I mean, when was the last time that the Department of Defense or the Pentagon had a balanced audit? This is also about my money going overseas. But yeah, the balancing back and forth, the money. Now, notice, as I said, 142 million apparently quietly erased from the federal expenses databases, as well as the Federal Trade Commission database as well. Something about the money being juggled or moved around. In the past, not is all as it seems. The smoke and mirrors, the poor choices. Not what they are presenting is not necessarily what it's all about. Now you've got crowning this reading the Ten of Cups, the happy families. It's my voter card as well. End of a cycle potentially. It is also my card of emotional unity coming together. So what's this? Why is this crown here? I mean, these are new cards. This one's a positive card for me. It's always been a positive card. I know some readers have it as their Republican and their false happy family cards and all the rest of it. But I'm feeling something positive about that. Let's see where it goes. Being forced to retreat. Okay. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to have to be forced to stop this project, is what I'm feeling. Externally, news coming in from overseas, a plan coming to fruition. Internally, manipulation, manifestation, manipulation. The nightmare situation that it finds itself in, I think it's going to be halted. And then you've got the Ten of Wands, just too chaotic and unruly to get it to completion. Something, because here we've got information being brought forward with the Page of Wands. And then we've got the Russia card. Russia, and the wheel turning. Money trails and justice. A harsh truth and fully exposed. Secrets being revealed, ending up with their back up against the wall with the Nine of Wands there. Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, feminine energy, independent female, and their new start. They're on the back foot and it's emotionally overwhelming, but they're going to be stopped, and the Emperor, it's all going to be stopped. Disappointment, whistleblowers, you name it, it's all there. Trying to spin it but having to walk away. Okay. You've got the King of Pentacles and the secrets being revealed, the White House and trapped by the messaging, and the Death card. Yeah, I think this project, whatever it is, do not like it. I think that once this regime unravels, it's going to be halted. Yet more wasted taxpayer money is what I'm getting. So tell me, just a couple of cards, is it going to be... I'm not... I'm just not feeling that it's going to go ahead. You've got the best of democracy and the fading, decrepit King of Pentacles in his orange robe. The star, perhaps the star falling. Let's have a look. Is Project Maven anything to be worried about? Well, there's that decrepit king again, the false gift, but we've got this collective awakening, wake-up call coming forward. Oh, and then we've got the King of Swords in regards to contract agreements. And those that, well, is it supporting the King of Swords, or those that were involved are going to find themselves drugged down, as there's money trails. They're going to find themselves restricted, and there's the Ten of Cups bringing the Death card. Yeah, I just don't feel it's going to progress. That being said, I want to have a look at, don't know whether it's a few of you or just one that's very persistent, keep asking me about Project Esther, which is the state version of Project 2025. Contracts, agreements, partnerships are just going to be fully exposed. I'm not feeling that Project Esther is going to succeed either, but let's have a look. Project Esther. Project Esther. I haven't even looked into it, but what I've been told is it's the state version of Project 2025, Project 2025 being the federal version. Now that the bastard budget bill has gotten through, yeah, the taming of the lion. They're trying to shut the lion up. He's now disposable. Apparently tariffs are supposed to start next week. Oh, that's all fun and games, considering, you know, very annoyed at the Australian government gave in on protecting the Australian beef industry from US imports because they don't have the traceability in case there's an outbreak of something like mad cow disease. He gave in on that. And the orange twerp 2 days later basically said, oh, we're going to double your tariffs anyhow. So he cannot be trusted. But let's have a look. Project Esther. Is there anything we need to know about Project Esther? It's the state-based version, from what I understand, of Project 2025. Again, the throwing under the bus, the infighting, the pushing back, the Queen of Cups, the compassionate Queen, bringing, you know, something yet to be revealed as the challenge. Hasn't been revealed, but she's got this compassionate energy, wanting to go back to a simpler time, you know, the 1950s or the 1850s, depending on what your belief system is. It wasn't, unless you were white and wealthy male, they were shit times. I'm just putting it out there. They were not good times. Entertainment only. But unless you were a wealthy, landowning white male, nah, not good at all. In the past, okay, trying to go back to the past where women are restricted, that's what it's all about. And the Chariot here, trying to force it forward. However, you've got these two sphinxes here that ain't going anywhere. The yin and yang, they ain't moving. Boy, they look angry too. They're not moving. I don't think this, I don't feel it's got legs. The Ten of Wands, they just can't get it to its destination. It's too chaotic, it's too burdensome. Externally, the legal action would be immense. Internally, you've got the emotional, overwhelming backlash, hopes and fears, the investigation, light being shone in this darkness as the path forward is found, sort of truth, anxiety, manipulation, abuse of power, trying to hang on with greed, but there's going to be a lot of information comes out, and we've got this working together for a new journey, a new beginning, and moving forward. This is an actual moving forward. That's not an actual moving forward. Those that presented it are going to end up with their back up against the wall, seen as treasonous pretty much in the face of this King of Cups energy, we the people. Yeah, I'm just not feeling that it's going to be. I mean, they may be able to in some states, in a few of those states where, they want to go back to women being possession of men, slavery, you know, those states that are talking about all these sorts of topics, where basically if you were the top 1% of white property owning men, you did well. The other 99% was, you know, tough bickies. However, everybody in those states seems to think, I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying those that are pushing for this sort of introduction to going back, seem to think that they were in the 1%. But this FAFO time, F around and find out, they're discovering they're not that top 1%. A lot of them are finding out, you know, I voted for you to do this to somebody else, not to me. And all of a sudden they're finding out they're the somebody else because they're not that top white percent of wealthy property owning white men. Simple as that. Okay. I don't feel it's going to get legs. They may get some policy through in the states, in certain states, but with what is happening, with this awakening, with this unraveling, I don't feel it's got legs. Okay, there are a couple of interesting little topics that I've been meaning to look on for a while. They've popped to the top of the list, and I'm going to leave them there. Okay, love to you all. Deep breath. Take care. Catch you shortly. Bye-bye.